I've been wanting to make short ribs for so long, and I was so surprised at how easy these were. It starts off with the usual celery, onion, carrot. I didn't have any celery, so I did carrot, shallots, onion, and then this is elephant garlic. I don't know why I got that. The short ribs we got from our local butcher at the farmer's market, and I just trimmed off some of the fat. I patted them dry, and then I just pressed in some salt and pepper. There's no real written recipe. I love to watch people on TikTok make recipes and then just kind of combine everything that I've seen. So I'm just browning the meat on all sides and then removing it and adding the vegetables back into that same pan. You'll want to do this in a Dutch oven so that you can put it in the oven. I let those cook for a bit, and I definitely should have done this before and mixed them up with flour, but I ended up just putting the flour in the pan and it was fine. And then I added some tomato paste. The flour is to help thicken the sauce later. I added the meat back in the pan and then ended up putting half a bottle of red wine. And then you want the meat to be covered completely with liquid, so I let that simmer for a little bit, and then I added 2 cartons of this bone broth. You can also do beef stock or beef broth, and then I added sage and thyme, but you can pretty much do whatever seasoning sounds good to you. I covered it and put it in the oven at 350 for almost 3 hours, and the meat was falling off the bone. I removed all of the meat from the pot and separated the fat from the actual meat, and then I removed the garlic as well because I was using that in my mashed potatoes. I strained all of the sauce from the pot into its own pan and then added some butter and started whisking it for that to reduce into the sauce. I didn't have to add anything else to the sauce. It was so good. And then I started on my mashed potatoes. This is how thick the sauce got. I put the meat back in, tossed it around, made some basic mashed potatoes with that garlic, some butter, salt, and half and half, and then I just mashed that up and then started to plate it. I just put the meat on top of the mashed potatoes, added some chives on top, a little bit of extra sauce, and this was one of the best things I've made. It was so good and super easy to make.